What's up, dreamers? So, we are going to get into another topic today. After I just talked about the whole Kanye and Alex Jones situation, I also wanted to talk about another thing that has sort of been blowing up recently since yesterday when he dropped a video, and I'm referring to the Liver King situation. If you guys don't know who Liver King, I'll throw up a few pictures of him and maybe that'll jog your memory. But he's basically the most giga of giga chads available on the planet, man. This guy is yoked, absolutely ripped. He's got luxurious hair that puffs out to here. I mean, he's like an absolute lion of a male. And he preaches the topic of men living the ancestral lifestyle and being able to tap into your genetic best. Now, essentially, yesterday he came out with a video where he confessed to lying. He was a big person on never taking steroids, never doing stuff that are genetically enhancing your body. But yesterday he came clean and discussed why he lied. So let's get right into it.
Primals, I'm making this video to apologize. Because I fucked up. Because I'm embarrassed and ashamed. Because I lied. And I misled a lot of people. I've stated that this is a complicated as fuck topic, at least to me it is, because before social media, I was rich and anonymous. And after social media, I'm still rich, but no longer anonymous. And I never expected this kind of exposure in the public eye. It's been tricky as fuck to navigate. Well, clearly I did it wrong. And I'm here now to set the record straight. Yes, I've done steroids. And yes, I am on steroids, monitored and managed by a trained hormone clinician. Liver King, the public figure, was an experiment to spread the message, to bring awareness to the 4,000 people a day who kill themselves. The 80,000 people a day that try to kill themselves. Our people are hurting at record rates with depression, autoimmune, anxiety, infertility, low ambition in life. Our young men are hurting the most, feeling lost, weak, and submissive. So I made it my job to model, teach, and preach a simple, elegant solution called ancestral living, the 9 ancestral tenets, so our people no longer have to suffer, so we can collectively express our highest and most dominant form. This is my fight. This is why I exist.
Now, obviously, that is a great message, but a lot of people have obviously taken issue with this because it seems as though Liver King is utilizing mental health, utilizing suicide, and utilizing suicidal ideology as sort of a scapegoat to explain exactly why he lied to everybody, told everybody that all of this is completely natural, all of this is completely attainable. And I think what a huge backlash of this is because when you think about it, the message he was spreading is good. What he's trying to tell people to do is basically live your life in a fashion where you don't have to depend on taking pills all day or going to the doctor and injecting yourself with stuff to be the best you. It's a great message, and I do encourage the young men that watch this video, that watch his videos, that watch any other types of videos to do exactly that. You want to be able to live completely independent of worrying about drugs and worrying about pills and worrying about all of these different things that influence you in life being the reason why you are feeling the way you're feeling. You don't want to try to justify your situations by things that are happening to you, and you don't want to justify your negative actions by using those situations as scapegoats. However, obviously, with him being under the management of a professional hormone therapist and being on steroids, it begs the question exactly why you would lie. Why would you not just tell the truth and say, listen, I'm on steroids, but you don't need to be because I was able to get a little jacked. You know, I was able to get jacked before the steroids and I just used it to get even bigger. And the persona that he was putting on to everyone was that this was completely natural, that he was completely natural, and that he had found some sort of secret to being the god of muscle, the god of just masculinity in general. So that's why a lot of people have an issue to it. Personally, I don't see a problem with it. I think a lot of us had an inclination that he had to be on some type of steroids to have the body type that he has, to be as yoked as he is. I mean, there are natural people who are that big, but they tend to have more fat deposits. They tend to have more areas where you can sort of see some sort of imperfection. I mean, just look at the guy's body. Like, You know, no homo, but like the guy is literally like there's nothing wrong with his body, and that has to take some sort of scientific tampering. Like there has to be something going on there. But anyways, he continues his message saying this.
Spreading the message. I've been on several podcasts, and when asked if I've ever taken steroids, I've always said no. I don't touch this stuff, not gonna touch this stuff, never touch the stuff. That was a lie. I've convinced myself that this had nothing to do with the ancestral message. I convinced myself that I'm not a competitive athlete of any kind, so who the fuck am I cheating? I convinced myself that this topic was a placeholder for a far more important conversation. I convinced myself that this would overshadow the 36 years of working out, usually twice a day, without PEDs. I've convinced myself that this was the vocal minority, usually in the fitness category, driving to an unproductive conversation. And I had convinced myself that this would be the wrong message to send to the 15-year-old boys. So I continually dismissed it, and I dug myself into a bigger and deeper hole. I have only myself to blame. I did that, and it was all wrong. I will be better. I will talk about it openly because I believe that there's a time and a place for pharmacological intervention monitored and managed by a trained hormone physician. In 2021, when I was 43 years old, I didn't feel 100% physically or cognitively. So I went to get monitored and managed by a trained hormone clinician to see what the fuck was going on with my life. And so yes, it's true. I have tried several peptide combinations in an effort to increase my growth hormone, and it didn't work, meaning that my levels still remained below the normal level. So yes, it's also true that I've tried pharmaceutical grade growth hormone, and I finally found success in managing therapeutic levels in the normal range. Yes, this is true. I've continued on with 0.6 cc's of testosterone per week, roughly 120 milligrams of testosterone a week. And no, I don't take any other steroids like nandrolone or Winstrol, but I have tried them in the past without success. Yes, it's also true that my blood chemistry got all fucked up while taking nandrolone and Winstrol. My lipids got all deranged, my liver enzymes went sky high, which is why clinical oversight is an absolute must.
And I think that we don't need to finish off this video. He's very, very honest. If you would like to, please head over to Liver King's channel, watch the remainder of the video. There's about 2 minutes left. But I do think that I appreciate him being open and honest with this. I mean, he started doing this at around, he said, age 41. And previous to that, he had been working out for years without any use of PEDs, any use of steroids. And I think that being open and honest about this message, obviously there are going to be a lot of people that are like, see, he was lying. You don't have to work out. You still have to work out. His message still applies, and everything that he says is relatively still true. You cannot be your best self without pushing your physical and mental self to the utmost limit. And I don't even take part in this fully. I have worked out before. I don't work out nearly as much as I should, and I would love to. I stress a lot mentally. I've thought about doing some crazy stuff. I haven't been suicidal since I want to say like my very, very early preteen years when I was just falling into the message that social media was pushing, that it was sort of okay to be mentally weak. More recently, I've accepted that you have to be mentally strong as a man in this world. Not only as a man, but you just have to be mentally strong as a human. This world is fucked. This world is not a good place. There are safe places built in by people who would like for you to believe that they are safe, but all it takes is one instance for one deranged person to come in with a weapon of any kind to ruin a day, to ruin a month, to ruin a year. And you have to be prepared, especially as a young man and especially as a man. Is he wrong for lying? Absolutely. Should he be held to the guillotine and have his head chopped off? Absolutely not. Honesty is very, very important. And while Liver King, the character, was truthful, Liver King, the human, was not. But that does not mean that Liver King, the character's message, was not truthful, and that Liver King, the character's message, was not helpful. A lot of young men need this message. Work out. Get to the gym. Push yourself mentally and physically to be your best. Get well connected. It's something that I'm currently struggling with myself. Trust me, I understand it's hard. Especially if, like me, you picked a field that's not necessarily paid the highest or that doesn't do the best for you at the moment. Find something else, cling on to it, and strive to be your best. It's all you can do. Fighting is all we can do as men in this world. Fighting emotionally, fighting physically, fighting to be better. That should be the message you should latch onto from the Liver King. And don't dismiss him just because he's now come out with this truth. Because the reality is, you can try to, push back against him and say, well, he's a liar. I don't have to listen to anything he says. Like he said, before being Liver King, he was rich and he was still jacked. All it did was make him a little bit more jacked and a little bit more rich and a little bit more famous. So don't push Liver King to the side now that he's come out with the truth. Accept that he's been truthful to you. He's come to you and told you the truth. And take that and take his message and be better for yourself and for everybody around you. Dreamers, out.